So then I want to say something. I just want to say a fact that people that read history have observed. Fiscal crises, I'm going to say it, sometimes produce political revolutions. You could even say often produce political revolutions. And I'll give you examples. The French Revolution, the proximate cause of the French Revolution is a fiscal crisis in 1770s and 1780s France. What I'm going to call the Second U.S. Revolution, not the one against King George III, but the one against the Articles of Confederation, a peaceful revolution. No guns, or not too many guns. And then the third one is going to be a set of revolutions, which is a rewriting of state constitutions in the 1840s. And it's my job to tell you what I mean by a revolution. So I'll tell you my simple model for government debt and the value of government debt. You don't even have to look at this. The government, through its taxes and expenditures, the outcome of its taxes and expenditure policies are a stream of government surpluses. That's tax collections, net of government expenditures. It's what the IMF calls the primary surplus. And there's a government budget constraint that you can, if you know differential equations or difference equations, you can solve it forward or you can solve it backward. If you solve it backward, it says you have high debt now because you've been running big deficits in the past. And if you have high debt now, you're going to have to run big surpluses in the future. The present value of a surplus is going to have to equal the debt. And the surpluses can be in a variety of forms. Either high taxes or low expenditures. So that's my model. So now the question is, so the fundamental thing in any theory of government debt or interrelation to government debt is this process S, the government surplus. This could be the surplus of any individual government that I'm talking about or some consolidated governments. So what we need is a theory. We need a theory of what determines. So, by the way, a lot of finance, a lot of Lars Hansen style asset pricing takes S as a stochastic process that's just determined and modeled and then run from there. But I'm going to pretend to go deeper than that. You'll see what I mean by pretend. And I'm going to ask what determines S, government surplus process. What determines it? And I'm going to need a theory. So I'll do a little preaching here. Tell you what I mean by an economic model. So it's going to be a coherent environment, and it's consist of agents, actions, information flows, timing protocols. So what an agent is an agent's just a constrained optimization problem. It's an objective function, some constraints. Actions are, well, they're just the choices available to that agent. I want you to think of a collection of agents. And I want you to think of information flowing into those agents. So every time they make some decision, they have some information. And then I'm going to have a timing protocol. So my timing protocol is going to be who decides what, when. And then I'm going to use the economist's ancient device of assuming, well, I've already said it, agents optimize, given the behaviors of other agents, and we're going to have an equilibrium concept that reconciles them all. So that's what any economic theory looks like. So I'm going to call that a constitution. It's going to be a description of who chooses what when. So for me, the U.S. Constitution and all the supplementary rules by which the Senate and House and Massachusetts House of Governors, they're all part of what I call the Constitution, set of rules and timing protocols. That's it. So what economic theory is going to say, and then their device for outcomes is going to be, you put all this together, a whole bunch of people are deciding these things. The outcome I'm interested in and that George Washington and Alexander Hamilton were interested in, was this S process, the government surplus process. You with me? That's the way I'm thinking about it.